Hello everyone, Trees Lawler here. This is my new favorite Canela shirt. Um, I'm really hesitant to wear it because I'm afraid this will get ruined, but I have been because it's really, really cool. This was something that I was saving up for going back to TEFL, but I don't think I'm gonna have money to go back to TEFL right now. So instead, I thought I would focus more on learning more about teaching all of you food, like food I like. So I'm learning more about recipes and things like that. And that's something that I've been looking at a lot just because, I go to library and my favorite things to look through are the recipe books because I'm always hungry. And so that's what I do. And I've been looking at my past photos because, I don't really have anything to do. So I thought, why not repost photos about the Philippines? So I have here photos of Paradise Island. And then also, I made a post about KangKong food. So KangKong is a type of vegetable that I used to eat a lot of when I was growing up. So I grew up in San Miguel, which is a little bit outside of Davao. So there's Davao, then you go to Kalinan, then Kalinan to San Miguel. So, it's about like more than an hour if you were going to take like a jeepney. So you would take typically a jeepney from Davao to Kalinan is how I used to travel most of the time. And then Kalinan to San Miguel via like a motorcycle, like a covered one, so a tricycle. Then it started becoming L3 van from Davao to Kalinan, Kalinan to San Miguel, like a jeepney. So anyway, it's a lot of fun to go from when I was growing up, it was a lot of fun to go from Davao to San Miguel. I did that like on the weekends, and then like for weekends, like long weekends, I guess. I just felt like I was there for like so I would go there for weekends, holidays, which would be long weekends, and then summer, like the whole entire summer. And I really liked doing that because that's where I had grown up. And I felt like, I was really, really close to my grandparents. And so it was my favorite thing to do. And before I moved to Davao, we used to go to the San Miguel River and get some kangkong. My grandma used to, and also some snails to cook. But later on, you could just get kangkong from the palenque, which is really really cheap. And then you would cook that adobo style, which is what I've posted about. My cousin Ivy used to like to order from a carinderia, which is, sometimes it's a little bit more expensive, or she used to make it or have her husband make it or her maid make it. And so, you know, that made, having kangkong a lot easier. So from age birth till I was 10, I grew up with okay, so birth to 5, I grew up with my grandparents as like my caretaker. And then 5, 6, so senior kindergarten to 4th grade, I grew up with my godmother, who I call my ninang. And I had a nanny, and my cousin Ivy lived with me. She was 5 years younger than me. So from senior kindergarten to 4th grade, we lived in Davao. And, to this day, I kind of want to make like a whole compilation of like fun recipes, like Filipino recipes. And then most recently, I've been trying to work more on Costa Rican recipes and things like that. So I think that it's cool to try to eat things that you've had like all throughout growing up and things like that. And I actually have been, like cooking at the path because I'm homeless, and so I go to the path to cook. Usually they have vegetables like every week. So they had squash, zucchini, mushrooms, and I started to really work with those. So squash, zucchini, mushrooms in butter, and then salt and pepper. If there's no butter, then just squash, zucchini, some bell pepper also, and then mushrooms, and then salt and pepper, which I need to do today. But I actually had something else planned, which I will go ahead and show you guys because it's really, really easy. And I'm just learning how to, do more taco cooking. I have in the past, and I'm going to post about that actually. And I wanted to kind of post about my bulalo recipe as well. But I'm gonna make pork carnitas taco with taco sauce, and so I went to the gas station last night and I got a bunch of stuff. I found rice and pork carnitas. Like it's like a pre-made type thing, and then you just heat it up. Then I got tortillas, and then I got some limes, and then also some salsa, like taco salsa. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that. But before I make that and like talk more about it, because it's like, for me, like I've always cooked Filipino food. So like this whole like, having a lot more Mexican food here and there because I live in California, is something new to me. And in the past, I kind of did in Houston. We used to go to Taco Cabana a lot, which I really, really loved, and other Mexican restaurants. But mostly barbecue though was like my favorite, and then just McDonald's really. And there was like a restaurant nearby I went to once, sushi's Fuzi no Fuzi's is like this Italian restaurant. I don't know. We didn't really go out to eat a lot in Houston, but San Antonio, I went out to more Mexican restaurants. Um, I've been to Chewy's, so that was growing up, and then I went to a bunch more like later on. But oh, one really cool place I went to for, I don't think it was Mexican, but in San Antonio there's a Riverwalk, and that's a really cool place to go to have food. And I think I went to maybe an Italian restaurant, I don't remember, but there's really good Mexican restaurants there. So that's the other thing, is that I want to try to learn more about Houston Mexican food versus California, like so Texas Mexican food versus California Mexican food. But yeah, and also I want to watch more masterclass videos about cooking. There's one, and I think her name's Gabriella, and I'll have to watch that. But I got sidetracked with watching some info about dogs, because there's like a dog masterclass, like dog training and like just like everything about dogs, because I really, really love dogs. I've always grown up with a dog. When I was growing up, I had a Labrador Retriever named Lapu, and then my little brother had a black lab, so I had a golden lab. So it was golden retriever, black lab named Lapu. My little brother had a black lab named Kaya. Then I ended up hanging out with Kaya once my little brother went to college, and Kaya used to sleep with me. And then my mom had Kashi, and then the other one, Cersei. I really, really like Cersei, but Cersei is more like, really rambunctious, so I don't really hang out with Cersei as much. But or Kashi either. But Lapu and Kaya were the best dogs ever. So I really have to watch more of the dog masterclass. And I don't really have internet like anywhere. So I have to like be at the library to like use the internet, or like Walmart or whatever other Starbucks. So I've been that's like my latest newest like topic. Then there's other stuff on there too, like interior design, and then I saw one about the power of storytelling. So anyway, KangKong is a water spinach. It's just like, it grows in the river really, really easily. And the stalks, the stems are hollow. And then like the leaves are, it's very, very spinachy. And so you can literally just put it, saute it, onions, and well, I usually I like soy sauce with a little bit of garlic, a little bit of vinegar, and then maybe some onions, but not really like as much. But just something like from like the river to your kitchen, and then you just cook it up, and it's really really yummy. Because for me, like growing up, it was kamungai. You would go to so my grandmother used to cook, and so it would be like kamungai, kamote tops, which is sweet potato, like the little leaves of sweet potato. I guess eggplant, okra. I really like okra. Um, but there was something about KangKong that's just like really, really yummy. Seaweed once in a while, but not too much. My Auntie Linda used to have some seaweed here and there, but that was when I was growing up. She doesn't really do that anymore. She mostly just does like fish, egg, rice. But I didn't really have food there as much. So my grandmother prepared food for until I was 5. Then once I moved to Davao, it was my Auntie Vicky, who was our maid, Auntie Vicky Española, and she is, still in Davao actually. And I thought that is like the coolest thing ever. I ended up talking to her on Facebook. I haven't spoken to her though since 4th grade. Um, but yeah, just it's cool, for me to try to have like some contact with my nanny. But it was more important for me like way, way, way like in like 4th grade, like 5th grade, like when I was still in Redbridge, and then in Brighton. But I think that, like as a Filipina, the yayas, the nannies are a lot more like part of my like was a lot more part of my life, because my aunt Christy, she went to nursing school, and then so she didn't really come home till late, and then she started to work. And then my auntie Cora, she was in a different town for a long time, and then my mother was here in the United States. My grandmother was in the farm, so it was just mostly me and my auntie Vicky. And so I really learned to just kind of watch her cook. But it was my grandmother who made my favorite dish growing up, which was sweet and sour fish. So she used to make me lapu-lapu, sweet and sour, which to me was the best ever, because it's like a red snapper and it's called lapu-lapu. And then escabeche, which is sweet and sour, has like bell peppers and some sweet sauce. I don't remember how she made the sweet sauce. It might have been with ketchup, but you can just buy like a Mayploy sweet sauce, which is kind of like it, or like this. I think there's like a kind of like a reddish sweet sauce. So that one's really really good. Anyway, I wanted to create blog posts here that's not just about Mexican food, and it's more about all the foods that I really like. I just started this site just to kind of talk about actually the shirts and the jewelry, and I wanted to go more into jewelry making, but I got frustrated with that because I get frustrated with things. And so I'll have to like do more of that. I don't actually know how to make the beads that they make, but I've been making beads that are more like the style that I used to do when I was growing up. Anyway, and about Main Street stuff, but I haven't been able to really buy like a lot of Main Street stuff. Um, I'm also gonna make a video on how to make a Moscow Mule. So, or um, yeah, I made that already, but like I'll make like a better one with like more talking instead of just like a bunch of clips, because I still have vodka, I still have limes, the ginger beer, and yeah, so that's all really. But I don't know. I haven't really focused on that right now. So, but I will go ahead and get back to trying to do that. Just because I also want to brush up on my bartending. I've actually not really bartended. I only like kind of did. I sold shots. Like, you can walk around with a tray and then sell shots to people at Barfly or like other bars in Rochester. But yeah, and then I guess you end up taking orders here and there. But I haven't really actually made my own drinks. So I'll have to go ahead and make like a more step-by-step Moscow Mule thing. Although I already have a bunch of stuff on there. And then next I'll have to focus on trying to make a grasshopper. But I don't even know like where to get all these things. I'm kind of lazy about like my bartending skills, but that's something that I really, really want to try to brush up on, like waitressing, cooking, bartending. I feel like I know a lot because I've worked in a bunch of places, but not really with like certain drinks. And don't really know like, I don't really use like a shaker or anything, but I have. That's something that I should invest in. I'm not really a big drinker, so this is something that's actually like kind of expensive for me, and it's just for blog posts, but I think it's cool because I want to be able to have a book within 3 to 5 years, that not necessarily to like publish it and like sell it, but I would like to try to, just because for me it's important that I have a book. Like my dad made a book about his family, about actors and actresses in his family and everything. For me, it's gonna be about food and drinks. And my travel to Latin America, I accidentally went to Japan once overnight, and then my Philippines travel. So 2005, 2006, I stayed a lot with my Aunt Cora and my Uncle Vidal, the farm, and then my grandparents a little bit. And then 2015, 2016, I stayed 6 months in Moroccan, and then the rest in San Miguel. So I was there a year and 8 months. So a year and 2 months I was in San Miguel. So yeah, I'll have to talk more about that. But I think, really stories are really cool to share in a blog, because I think everyone here in Red Bluff grew up really, really differently. And I want to be able to share, how I've grown up, and how, what it was, like what was important for me growing up with the different foods and what's important to me now. So yeah, I think it's really, really cool to try to have anything that's like Filipino, especially like vegetables, things that I've tried. One thing I haven't tried is Swiss chard, but I would like to. And I made like a blog post about that. So like focusing more on vegetables. I got an ingredients book from the library a few days ago, and well, no, about a week ago, and I learned more about tomatoes, and then I learned more about another one. Well, I read about KangKong, so this is what like transpired from that. Anyway, that is it for my video. I'm gonna go ahead and make my carnitas taco video, and then like a more talking like instructional how to make a Moscow Mule video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.